Eric King again with you. So I want to share with you something interesting today. I was thinking this through and I thought, let me share with you something that you don't know. Real estate. Now, don't go away if you're not a real estate person. I know some of you, the moment you hear about business, money, real estate, I'm not interested. I want to go watch comedy. I want to go watch something that'll make me laugh. You are old enough now, don't you? So better listen to money, because money makes the world go round. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about how you can make a lot of money, that you have so much that you never need to worry, and you can buy your freedom. You can have a free life. You can choose to travel on vacation. You can choose to live where you want to live. You can choose to take care of your family how you want to. You can choose to have a quality life. It's important. So I was thinking this through. Why is it that each time developers, when they launch a new project, real estate, for example, Emaar, and let's choose a community, let's say Dubai Creek Harbor, why is it that every new launch, they launch it at a higher price? Why? I'll give you for example. If you know Palace Residences Dubai Creek Harbor, which is one of the best buildings that people love. I'm not saying it's the best building, I'm saying people love it, and I love it. It's one of my favorite. I love it. I love Palace Residences, the first palace in Creek Harbor, right? I love it. Do you know how much those units, the one beds were launched at? Around 1 million. Yes, 1 million. I remember back then, I used to have units just after COVID. I was selling those one beds around 1 million, 1,025,000, 1,010,000, 1,050,000. And I would have people argue with me, no, it's expensive. No. The guy, he bought it for 1 million, brother. And he ready to sell it for just about the same price he bought it. And that unit had about 40-50% post handover plan on it. 5-star. They wouldn't buy it. And they would ask me, how much do you think this can go up in price when it's ready? I told them, I knew what it would do, but to be honest, I didn't know it would even do more than that. But I used to tell them, you buy for 1 million, once it's ready about a year plus now, at that time, which is you buy the whole for like 8 months or 18 months or thereabout, you would sell it for at least 1.6. And I was being very, very, how do you say it? I was being a little bit, I didn't want to be overexcited on my speculation, because if I would tell them actually what I think it would worth, they would think I'm bluffing and I just want to brainwash them and take their money. That's how you guys think when you see a salesman, a good salesman. But those who knew. Do you know what? I sold a lot of them. That building is one of the buildings like I crushed in Creek Harbor. I crushed it. I sold a lot of units. And I used to do something after, when it was ready, there's something I used to do with my clients who I sold to. Even when I didn't have a buyer for their units, I would call them like, I got a buyer for a unit. I was just kind of trolling them, or playing with them actually. And I was like, how much would you sell? They were like, I say, are you ready to sell for 1.8? And if they would say yes, they bought it for like 1 million, and now it's going for like 1.8. They profit 800,000. If they would sell at 1.8, and they would be like, no, I don't want to sell. I want to keep it. Even when I didn't have a buyer for 1.8, but if they would say yes, oh man, I have people ready to take it for 1.8. But I'm saying this because they now knew the value of my relationship with them. That Eric was not here just to sell them a unit. Eric was here to advise them, because most of them came to Creek not knowing what to buy, and I told them what to buy. Now those one beds, a lot of them are going above 2 million now, 2.2, 2.5, 2.3, 2.4, and there are a lot of owners who would never sell and they don't want to sell, and that's a good thing. Now, here's a point of discussion. Why is it that Emaar is launching units today, same one bed that they sold for like a million a few years back? If they would launch it, they would launch it at 1.8, 1.9 million. Why? Two reasons. The first obvious reason is, as the community itself keeps maturing, keep looking better, keep getting better, quality getting better, what do you think happens in the community? The cost, the value of the community has grown. Also, the cost of the community has grown. Creek Harbor, if you were buying Creek Harbor 5-6 years ago, the road that goes around the island was not full circle, it was halfway. On the back side of it was there, so there was nothing there. Now you have a full road, you have a community, you have a street, you have a beach on the other side, you have the marina, you have address functioning, you have palace functioning, you have everything, you have parking on the ground. It's a beautiful community. Well done, Imar. You guys are killing it. You have Creek Beach, you have the bridge, you have all these things, the flowers, the greenery, the services, the agents, the securities, the concierge, everything that works in the community. And you expect them to launch at the same price that they launched when there was nothing? It doesn't work that way. As they keep adding value to the community, so is the cost of the community growing and the prices as well. And by the way, the cost of production of building materials have grown, I think about 40%, but people don't know that, and they still expect that the developers should launch at the previous prices. That is a known factor. But now let's talk about the best factor, which I love. Now let me ask you, supposing you bought a one bedroom 2 years ago, 1.4 at the launch. It's going to be ready this year, December. And you, as an investor, you bought 1.4 and you want to make profit. Let's say you are ready to sell for 1.7 and make profit. And now you are ready to sell for 1.7. Now, if Imar should launch a property today for 1.4 or 1.5, would you be able to sell your unit for 1.7? No, hell no. The buyers in the market were like, why should I buy from you 1.7? Developer has units for 1.4 and I don't have to pay all the money at once to you. I can pay slowly with installment to the developer. So it's a good thing when the developer launch at higher price, because they create a headroom for their previous investors to make gains, to make profit. So that's a good thing. So if you are buying a unit today for 1.8, one bedroom from Imar, don't be scared that tomorrow you won't be able to sell it, because in the future to come, those Imar with similar unit, they'll be launching for 2.2, 2.3, 2.5. And so people, when they're not able to, in the field, now imagine that those clients in the future, you bought now for 1.8, 3 years down the line, Imar is launching similar unit for 2.2. Now, if somebody's going to buy from Imar and he knows your unit is available and it's ready, he's going to think, wait, why should I pay 2.3 when this guy has his unit for 2,050,000? I'd rather go with this guy. And it's ready unit, I can put it in rent and start making revenue off of my unit. You see? So it's good that the developer gives us a headroom to make profit when they launch. When the prices they are launching does not compete with their existing client. There are developers in the market who are competing with their existing clients in price. There are developers that today, if you want to go buy a unit in that area, you see the prices that the old owners are giving you. The old owners are ready to get out at OPE, at original price. Right? Let's say somebody bought a unit for 1.5. Let's say 3-bedroom townhouse, they bought it for 1.3 and 1.5, and now you as a buyer, you come in the market, you want to buy it, and the owner is like, you know what? Can you give me 1.55 or 1.6? And then the buyer finds out that the developer has inventory and the developer is ready to sell at 1.55 and waive off DLD fee 4% for them, or give them some kind of incentive. Why wouldn't that buyer go with the developer? More so if the developer would give them payment plan for a ready unit. So you discover those developers are beginning to compete, or they would be competing with their existing clients. So there are projects, there are areas that if you buy, you stand the risk of not making good profit because you are competing with your developer. Here is why Emaar can afford to launch at higher price and not worry. Emaar controls about 70% of the market share in real estate in Dubai. Why do you think they would have to come and compete with their existing client in price? Nah, they wouldn't do that. They'll make their money anyway. They would sell it anyway. But other developers would have to compete with the big developers and also compete with the clients in the market. I hope this helps you. There are more things I would like to share with you that will skyrocket your knowledge of the real estate market here in Dubai, how it works. There are secrets. There are things you need to know. There are things you need to know. There are things that if I tell you will make you money. Money is a flow of information and knowledge. If you have better quality information and knowledge, the more money you make. And depends on people you partner with, people you choose to keep in your circle, the brokers you choose to keep, the business people you choose to talk with, or the people you, and if you are losing, it's because you're probably talking to the wrong people. So I hope that helps you today. Eric King signing out. If you have questions, ask me. If you want to buy units, call me. I'm available for you. Have a nice day and a nice weekend and a nice week. Cheers. Signing out.